Alright, we are live. Hi, Pastel! You're first! Yes, you are first. Aloha! Hi! We're back at again with the streaming, and from the poll that I looked at, people are interested in wanting to hear about my Honkai Star Rail project and just goof off. I might as well get the former out of the way first before before goofing off, so that way the fun stuff can happen. Speaking of which, I need to link people to I need to link the server. Right. All right. There. Alright, I sent the link to my Discord server, so people will mostly be watching or coming in by any point. And, and I just got a love from one of all my socials. Sleepy. That's cute. All right. All right. How's everyone doing so far? Trying to think of what to say before I bring up the project, since I want to get and talk to chat a little bit before doing that. Oh, yay! From school or for something else? Something else. A lot happened this week. Okay. Well, there's not much going on in the chat, so I might as well get him on with the project. Hold on. I'm messing around in my Discord server, so anyways. Getting to that poll for a second. Sleepy. Oh, and free votes came in, so me voicing Honkai Star Rail, some big characters, characters talking about the project and goofing off. So I will basically be doing those three things since it's a tide. Alright, with my project, so we can get it out of the way. So for basically, for what I brought up in a few videos, it's basically a project that I've been working on since ideas popped in my head since Honkai Star Rail has taken over my mind. Mm, mm. So basically, I'm making a project of it, and it's basically of my personal ideas, and basically what I'm with the trailblazing exposition of our favorite trio, going to Urfis, with Stell, who is basically merged together with my Sona character. And that's the reason why I call her Estelle Shay, as a way to merge their names together. Though my friend kind of merged their names together, literally. Anyways. She ends up going for some sense of self-discovery and learning about her life on Earth, along with basically holding themes such as love and with love, since it's basically with her connecting with people that she loves. I've sent out auditions for writers, and the deadline is coming up, and I'm going to announce those in a community post, since I feel like a YouTube video would be pretty big for one small thing. Though I am a little nervous when bringing this up, because I feel bad for the people that audition pretty late in the game, such as like one of my favorite oh, thank you, Pastel, thank you. It's a project that I've been really excited to get out there. I'm actually I should bring that up in a second, but I'll bring that up in a second. And so basically, I feel bad about that, but the cookie crumbles, and I have my writers. I have my I have my writer set out. It's basically of one of my friends who also plays Honkai Star Rail and knows the characters like I do. I do, and one of my fans who I become mutuals with in some way, but also a friend. A friend. I will bring it up in the community post and share with my Discord servers so they know they're part of the project. The next thing in basically auditions is artists. It's basically artists that will make stills and still drawings or art pieces, basically of what is going on with the characters, and in the moment, along with in that moment, along with just to add to get people much more to piece together visually, aside from my script writing. Also, basically within the writing process, it's going to be basically with me being the main writer, which means I will give my main ideas, what is gonna my outline for the story, and my overall outline of the story, what's going to go on with it, and Kate and Magnus will back me up on basically writing as we go. I'm a little nervous considering there might be some fandoms they're not familiar with, which made me think. Which means I gotta pull my weight into this. I'm basically trying to help them out with the writing process on this, and I felt like that was a little error on my part, considering I did not think much on the deadline and the time that I was going to choose for my writers. So that was my bad on my part. I might need to to figure something out. And I'm looking at something real quick. I may apply for artists. Oh, great! that the audition script is almost done. I'm just oh wait, I did finish it. I just am going to record, start drawing the thumbnail and getting to editing it in a video in a second. In a little bit. So basically, if you want to apply, I no apply, and basically I have an email where you can reach out to it, and you can basically just send me a bit pieces of your art or art, and I will see how it goes from there. I'm so nervous about the writing process when we get there. I know Kay will help, and since he's a fan of Honkai Star Rail, but I'm also he doesn't possibly know the other fandoms like Resident Evil and Sonic. So it's up to me to pick up the groundwork on that part. Though I think also Magnus could help with like some of the detail scenes or what's gonna go on next. And basically once we got all of the things down for that, I'll basically write the script and basically write the script for it since I write on hand, and then read it out in there for basically for the story to be told, and it should be good from there. Gotcha. I should really update my Twitter about art. Okay. So yeah, hopefully that will make it easier for me, so I don't like have a freak out if we are struggling with it for a second when in the writing process. Hi, Magnus. You're here. I was just talking about the writing process on my project on my project, and I'm a little nervous about it, but I'm hoping it will go well. And the auditions are up, so that means the official writers are chosen. Chosen. Lacking so much. Oh, I'm sorry, Pastel. I'm sorry. Alright, so basically that's about with the writing process. I just joined, so what happened? Oh, I was just talking about my Honkai Star Rail project and with basically what's gonna go on, or what I hope what is gonna go on the project, and hopefully it just doesn't get overwhelming for both people and myself, mainly because I'm not sure if my writers know about these franchises since they are both of my friends. And I'm mostly fan of these three things, so I'm gonna have to pick up the grunt work on those and help them navigate very carefully. Hopefully they'll get it, and nothing bad will, and hopefully I won't get frustrated or anxious on this. Just don't want to overwhelm my writers while also just trying to make sure this goes smoothly. I get very very testy on some things, but I try to try to play it cool. And just hopefully it will go well. Okay. Okay. So with that writing process down, I wanted to get that out of the way. Either way, that's basically the my project on that. Project on that. So basically, it should be hopefully smooth sailing with the writers. The next thing is the artist, which means I'm gonna buy auditions for the artist. Hopefully, I got the script done, and now it's the time for me to make on the thumbnail and start recording it. And moving on from that. Moving on from that, there's also to bring up what I was going to bring up earlier was a project that I'm mostly doing solo, but it's mostly within line of what my project is going to be. But it's a one shot episode, mainly for basically it can or cannot it may or may not be canon to the project's storyline. But it's mainly just for me to test run basically of my storytelling and what I'm planning to do for basically the hold on when artist work is at I generally need because every time I try doing it, it gets so inactive so quickly. Oh, yeah, I get that. So yeah, basically just being a test run of what I would envision for it, how to go. But since I don't have all the people on the, like basically on this, and this is solo, my art pieces and my voice acting along with writing is solely going to be on me. Me, me. I'm still hesitant with the animators thing because I mentioned that I wanted to get animations for this. Like, you know, those like the model like MMDs where basically people use Genshin or Honkai Star Rail models and basically animate them into one scene, mostly for shipping or AMV purposes or music video purposes. It's I really love those, and I'm hoping for those. But I'm okay with 2D animation, as I think those are pretty. And I've seen really great animatics of the characters being drawn in 2D style, like very beautifully hand drawn stuff, like Honkai Star Rail fandom. Why these people are talented? They are talented. They're genius at this stuff. Stuff. Reason why I kind of wanted to make this like a multiplayer. Oh, Miko dance. Oh my god, yippee! Yeah. Reason why I kind of wanted to do this as basically as a whole team effort, mainly because I think it would be cool to just to work with multiple people and see what they do and hopefully it will help me improve in these areas, mostly in basically being a writer, voice actor, and artist. So reading people would not only help me, but also basically just be really, really cool and stuff. Just basically having fun with my project. I babble on that my throat gets dry. Either way, the one shot episode is basically currently in scripting. I will get out my artist on auditions out first. My artist auditions out first before I get to Sorry, I repeated. I zoned out a bit, and that happens a lot with me recently. But I will get them out first before getting back into scripting that, and so far it's going pretty well. Hopefully, I will work out the writer things with pretty much. I'm pretty sure I'll be handling mostly of the Resident Evil and Sonic writing since I know these characters inside and out. But I'm hoping to link. But I'm going to try to link my friends to some character analysis and stuff, and basically on some voice lines for them to get a general foundation of their characters so they won't struggle on it, and hopefully we'll work it out together. I also hopefully recommend them to like try getting into like Honkai Star Rail, Resident Evil, and Sonic, though mostly on Honkai Star Rail and Sonic. So that way they'll get a gist of it. I'm nervous about it because I just want this to go well and just don't want to make it look like I'm adding pressure. I don't want to add pressure. I don't want to add pressure. Anyway, Sonic! Oh, Pesto knows about Sonic. Yes, Sonic is going to be in there. particularly mostly Shadow and Amy, considering I love both of those characters. Amy tends to be controversial and basically and in the Sonic fandom, but I like her as, and I don't think she's the psychotic psycho fangirl as people tend to write her off as. She's actually a lot more well written than that. Along with basically with Shadow, he's not the edge lord. He's more so of a character that is preserved and is actually is a lot sweeter than he comes off as. With his strong sense of justice and caring about others. I'll remember that me and my friend were like Cream and Amy, so we like Cream and Amy. So yippee, do it silly. Shadow and Amy? Yes, they're in this. Mainly because I when with my Sona and Shadow and Amy, Shadow is sort of like my Sona's little brother. So Stelche will with Shadow will have like older sister little brother moments, but in within their own characters. That's so true. What's so true? I've confused a little. Are you talking about like the sibling dynamic thing or sorry, I got a little confused because I was bringing up mostly of their of Shadow and Stealth like what their sibling dynamic would be. But either way, if you like watch my Stealth voice lines, my Stealth voice lines, you would know that basically that Stealth basically mentioned that she that Shadow doesn't mind her holding his hand. And I think this is a cute little nod to basically of how my Sona would, which is basically yes, don't worry. Yes, of course. So yeah, basically how Shay would like hold in like Shadow's hand, and I think this extends with basically Shadow with basically wanting still Shay to do that, and the fact that basically what Shay's identity, half of her identity, is within Stealth Shay, within Stell as well, hence Stealth Shay. It's it's gonna leave a lot of rough patches on for the individuals that were close to Shay. And Shadow is one of them. As much as he wouldn't like to admit it, he does see her in still Shay, despite knowing her as her own person. So basically, whenever he like holds her hand, he does find some comfort in it, though tends to worry as he wants to respect Shay as her own person, but also believes in her. Believes in her, and he's the most accepting of it, despite some wounds coming out of it. Wounds that is difficult, despite the wounds that feel from Shay's person being in there when she passed away. For Amy with Stealth Shay's dynamic, it's a bit more acute. It's a bit more on more of a lighter side, but still with a tinge of its sense of tragedy. Considering that Shay's like Stealth Shay was like Amy's best friend, aside from Leon, the Resident Evil character, who basically just is, who basically were just girls and that were just very close friends, and they are about the same age. And I am actually one of the fans, and that basically when Amy's aged up, I like to see her with longer hair. I just think that suits her so well, and is a nice way to make her look more mature compared to her 12-year-old counterpart. And so I basically and I just think that's so. But that aside, basically they're best friends and they just like to hang out with each other. And Amy helps in getting Shay out of her shell since she's considerably shy and awkward. So she helps her come out with not only in basically in her fashion choices, but also with her demeanor and helping people to get to know her better than just being the orphan girl. Those details will be revealed later. Wink, wink. Okay. Pause there because I had to yawn. But either way, for Amy and but so for basically with Stealth Shay and with Amy still treats Stealth Shay like Shadow as her own person, person, but her feelings for Shay creep out a little bit, and it comes in basically of for still trying to. I would assume that Amy would basically, considering how she still loves, and she's a very loving girl, and loves Shay who she is, no matter what person she is at the time. Whenever it's just her OG form or her or a still Shay, she still wants to believe and love her and as her friend, and still wants to look after her an actor and sees her as her own person with Shadow. Though the acknowledgement that basically that still Shay is having Shay's identity in there, doing the after she passed on, is a bit hard pill to swallow for her. So she might get a little anxious and tense and possibly will bawl at some points. So pretty rough. Sleepy. So yeah, basically with that, with Amy and Shadow. Shadow. So basically, that's how rough moments in lore will be. Yep, because the story does not exist without conflict and tragedy. That moving on from Sonic, I think it's best we get into the Resident Evil bits. If you know Resident Evil like I do, you would know that basic. But when you know Resident Evil I do, you're familiar with its characters, particularly one that you can never escape from. Even I can't escape from him. But overall, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. The one I usually from they get in certain designs and new appearances in several games, but the ones I usually use is the RE4 ones, which means and the two characters are Leon and Ashley. Let's start with Ashley first, and she is a very controversial character, like very polarizing if you look at OG. The remake did fix her to make her a bit more likable and interesting, along with not as a pain to get through in gameplay and story. But in the OG, people tend to not like her as much. You either like her, but not all hate her. She was just a lot of pain to deal with for a lot of people. For me, I never really was bothered by her shrill tone or basically her whininess. More so, I just thought of her as basically as someone who was just put through a horrible situation that just end up Resident Evil. Yes, yes. She was just put through an awful situation that just made things complicated. If I heard it right, yes, you did, you did, you did. She was just put for an awful situation and was just freaking out like any normal person would. And I just felt like people were giving her too much fuck for being an escort mission. Do you know if Resident Evil passed out? Because if you do, that might explain the reaction. So yeah, Ashley has been considered to be very polarizing, but I overall like her. But basically, considering I want her to be likable to other people, so we need people to get through her, especially when I'm looking voice actor for her, basically for her OG. For one, I'm going to. I do make her basically such as like a mother figure to the group, to the younger ones, particularly to Stella Shay, March, and Amy, and to the other anyone that is young. Basically, just I've been affected by anime because of it. Oh god. Oh gosh, that's eek. Evil. That said. So yeah, she plays like a mother figure in some regards and is basically just usually loving and sweet. And loving and sweet, but also just basically trying to give advice any way she can, and just basically being a good person. One of the canonical traits about Ashley is that she's been considered to be cheerful and sweet. Sweet, and this is very considered in the remake, as they give her a very bubbly nature, where it's akin to like a childlike innocence that is within her being an adult. Like I liked her little line where basically when like with the gun shooting mini game or mechanic in RE4, both in the original and the remake. In the remake, she says that basically it was something akin to the fair, and I just thought that was such a pure reaction. So basically, also I might be integrating the remakes elements of Ashley into the Ashley, but still keeping on, but more so on my take. Just keeping those facts within her in there, just without making it difficult, without stepping away from her original counterpart. I'm still so basically she. But I would always consider. I think to get it simple to basically explain Ashley's character. She's a sweet, caring person who keeps the positivity and face and of darkness. News for a lot of people without losing a sense of understanding when a situation is grave, and is far from a pushover, and she will knock you on your ass if you are being arrogant or cruel in any way. She will not hesitate with this on the main villain. I trust you. She will not hesitate. Overall, hopefully that this characterization of my interpretation will hopefully make her a little bit more likable without people feeling like they need to throw hands at her at every turn. I know fandoms aren't like that as much anymore, but still, I just want to make it clear so people won't forget. And so people can enjoy her character. Oh, my throat. Okay. Yippee. Hope you're liking the ideas so far. I hope they're coming out pretty good. Okay. Leon. Oh god, Leon. This one's gonna be a very mixed bag. Well, not very much a mixed bag, but a lot to unpack. I'm listening while drawing, so sorry in advance. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. What's with the exclamation marks? What's with the exclamation marks? I need to know what's going on. Also, I like it. Yay! I'm glad you do. I'm really happy. So for basically with Leon in this project, he's basically with his NS RE4 version, basically as people would call him, to be more of a hardened agent, along with basically with him cracking jokes in every now and then, because this is what we know of Leon. Leon in the fandom actually is very beloved. Like I cannot come across a single person that does not like this man. I remember one of my friends on Discord mentioned that the fandom is married to him, and I laughed my ass off because it's very accurate. Accurate. Everyone seems to adore Leon, and I don't. And it's not like I don't see it. I actually do see it. I actually relate to Leon without a doubt. His strong sense of justice, caring nature, and overall friendliness is basically something akin to me as a person, except a woman. So basically seeing seeing that in a character. So I definitely see myself a lot in him, and find some some comfort in that. So I enjoy it, and it makes me smile. Though when considering it, I still laugh at how the fandom was like crazy for him. Not like down bad serious like all the simps are with him. With him. but also just basically find a very lovable character. Like, you cannot find a single fan that does not like this character. You just cannot find a single character. When you just cannot find one person that does not like him. Moving on. Moving on. This point is me. Yes, I do like Leon. He's one of my favorite characters, and actually, he's one of my favorite characters in all of media. It's a reason why, and it's the reason why I tend to keep him in most of my fan fictions and writing and stuff, because he plays a integral role in my son's life. So what does this lead in basically with his relationship with Stella Shay? Well, for before that, with his relationship with Shay, he actually, well, compared to other people, I do not simp for Leon. I mean, there are some cases that I do, but not often. More so, I just mostly saw him as like a big brother father type to my Sona. So basically, I mostly lean on the father spectrum. So he ends up basically taking care of her. He actually adopted her when she was young and was orphaned. So he took her in the care of his heart. Mainly because he had a hard time seeing her in such a state, along with her coping with the loss of her loved ones. So he just took her in just to not continue to watch that, along with just wanting her to be safe. Safe. Of course, how I depict on Leon and Shay's dynamic, basically in a familial respect, is a bit awkward. You see, with how would people view Leon, people notice from what I've noticed, people tend to agree that or at least in headcanon, that Leon isn't the best with expressing his emotions, despite being a very emotional person and shows clear distress and exhaustion from his life in the Resident Evil franchise, along with basically just basically not afraid to express those emotions in regards, as he does not only express them but also within his facial expressions and words, but also in the emotion you can hear it in his voice, mainly because he's voice acted by great voice actors. The one in RE4 is my favorite since I did grow up on that, but also with that Adam. But yeah, but I'll gush about that another time. I'll gush about things in RE4 another time. So yeah, moving on. Let me think. I lost track. But anyway, then trying to think. Oh yeah, now I remember. So yeah. So yeah, basically, with despite just being able to express his emotions in some way, he's and it's basically agreed and headcanon, at least for most of the fans, that he's not really great at expressing his emotions when coming to wording them out verbally, at least outright. Too. Like, I would feel like he would have a hard time saying "I love you," and I think this makes sense from a story standpoint. The reason is because if you look at basically like the original OG or RE2 and in his complex relationship with Ada Wand and along with people in general, he's I would feel like saying "I love you" would be a bit more difficult to say. And also, one of my headcanons is that he basically grew up with his dad being a police officer too, and basically also like a young man would show that he loves him but doesn't verbally outright say it much, so that might contribute to it. But so Leon has a bit of a struggle of saying "I love you." I love you, along with basically going by like parental like also going with the labels of basically a family. So this leads to him being a bit awkward with showing that he still shows care for Shay at every turn. He protects her, provides food for her, provides a home for her. He does everything in his power to keep her safe. But when it comes to saying "I love you" and treating and basically treating this as a real family custom, where basically he likes thinks of him as a father and Shay as a daughter. It's a bit awkward there, so they tend to be awkward with being a bit more emotional with their feelings. This extends, and this does influence Shay a little bit where she's a bit awkward with expressing her feelings, like in not only in regards to Leon, but also in sort of her relationships in general. Like her romance with Dunham with Shay, is that basically that she's, when it comes to doing coming to loving him, she mostly expresses through actions and sense of love. Well, for actions, stuff like that. And but also she does express this in some in saying I love you, but it's mostly like in a soft, gentle way where she's basically a little hesitant, but wants to say it so he can hear it. Hear it. So basically, it just shows how awkward she is with coming to basically saying "I love you" or expressing it in some way. Having a struggle on saying "I love you" and like doing it by action is somewhat so positive energy. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's basically what I do. Actuality, this is might be a sort of thing that I know, but I sometimes have a struggle saying "I love you." Like when people say "I love me," I was like, what am I supposed to say? Do I say I love you? If it's right, yeah, yeah. That it's a more of a more outfront way to express your love for someone, but just in a different way. So I would say it's like positive energy. So I would say it's positive energy. I would just say it's more. I would say more of it's cute, wholesome energy, but it could be positive too. I mean, showing your love to someone is a positive thing in general. Mm, at least for the right reasons. But either way, with that said, I let me think. Where was I? Oh yeah, yeah. So basically, showing her love is a bit of a rocky thing for her, and with him and with her and Leon, it's complicated. It's a little complicated when on the love thing, and it's mostly due to awkward emotions. That's a reason why. So yeah. So with them, so with that, it might explain some certain things that are awkward in a relationship. It's not an outright toxic. It's not like toxic in the relationship of love, but more so just a little bit, basically of a sweet dynamic that is mostly awkward at best. Though considering Leon is an agent, I also take a note that he has to take that as a priority, and that sometimes he might have to leave home, so he has to leave her into care of of others, or basically just or possibly Ashley, since she's going to be a part of this, or possibly his dad. Dad, though I do attend, and then basically that basically like characters that where my Sona or my Sona is herself in is basically just basically meets him into her later into her life, such as in her early teens. So hopefully that makes, but it is still an idea to consider. So with that in mind, so with that in mind, basically Leon has to leave within on his missions and be a government agent, and this comes from and this well my words are fumbling a bit. So basically with this, Shay's most of the time understanding of this, though she does wish she could spend time with Leon a little bit lot more. more since since she likes being with him, and she does grow a strong attachment since aside from her parents, he was one of her first attachments. So spending time with him means a lot for her. And it generally it makes her happy, and basically one of the first bouts of love that she felt since her parents died. Since basically the thing is, and I'll bring that up in a little bit. I'll bring it up a little bit, but she was kind of dispelled from people considering she was an orphan and was due to her family and her family complications being leaked out to the public, mostly to her school to an extent. And because of this, people began to mock her for that and her being an orphan. So basically, after her parents die and her family crumbles apart, and she could say that her family both crumbles apart, and after her parents die, after shortly, okay, so yeah. After what stuff that happened with her family and her being an orphan, Leon being the first person to be there for her did help her, like, push through and help her find some meaning in her life again, along with just wanting to, growing very strongly attached to him, basically giving the attention that she missed and she craved. So, yeah. That was a big yawn. So with that, Adam, with that in mind, it makes sense why she would feel lonely, but she doesn't usually cause a fuss about it. She mostly just respects Leon's way of work, while also just hoping she'll get close to him. Though she never outright says it because she was a bit timid on doing so she ends up having a difficult time with it. So, yeah, definitely awkward on that part. But also, there is also a sense of lingering resentment, not like bad resentment, but also resentment for herself. You see, basically, whatever the shit she has to deal with, she ends up having low self-esteem issues and actually has grown some jealousy towards Leon mainly because he's everything that she wants to be. Strong, brave, courageous, and just able to hold strong in a fight, and just basically is a good, well-meaning person. Basically, something that most of the qualities, such as the braveness and the courageous, such as bravery and strength, is something that she lacks in, at least when she was younger. So she kind of wish she had that, but it was coming from moral reasons, mainly because she wanted to not be helpless and just able to protect people and herself, along with just basically just wanting to hold her own and just be there for people, being for people, and just wanting to at least have some confidence in herself, just be proud of herself. So, but she never lets that jealousy or envy like consume her very much. It does resonate with her and does play in fault into her motivations, but it does come with basically at a cost. But it does overwhelm her to an extent where she's kind of where her self-esteem gets to her at times, but her love for Leon and adoration for him overpowers that. But it does creep out sometimes. Mostly when her self-esteem is being attacked and when she's basically just emotionally raw. So combine this complicated dynamic with awkward family dynamic, a sweet but awkward and a sweet awkward dynamic. Oh wait, I forgot about Leon's and. Oh wait, yeah, never mind. It's okay. So combine this sweet awkward and sweet awkward dynamic with Stealth Shay and Leon together. So basically, the death of Shay looms over the heads of the people she's close with. Whenever it's like Sonic, We love complicated dynamics. Yes, yes, we all do. So, so basically, the death of Shay looms over the heads of a lot of people, lots of people that she's close with. Close with, and this extends to Leon and this extends to Leon as well. I forgot to mention her dynamic with Ashley, but I guess I could bring that up later. But for Leon and for Stelche, it's very rough. Not like bad, but also just painful. Painful. Once Leon realizes that Stelche is basically has his own adopted daughter's own DNA within her, it's a lot to swallow, and it adds a painful. Like I mentioned in my video, it adds a punch to her dynamics and the connections in there. And basically, with that in mind, a little projection is natural. Projection is basically placing your feelings and is pressing your feelings and thoughts onto someone else. And Leon projects his own love for Shay that he never really got to say much on Shay to basically still Shay, which makes their dynamic a little bit rough and kind of uncomfortable to watch, but also really sad when you think about this, because Leon, how I think about him in relationships, or how I headcanon him is basically he's absolutely devoted to those he cares about very much and is willing to do anything to protect them. And reason why he would become so torn if he lost them, either they left him out of his life completely, or they end up in a literal sense. So basically, when Leon just basically has when spend times with Selshay with the knowledge of her identity, it becomes very rough for him. And just finds it odd. But despite, not odd, but more so just a little painful, considering he didn't expect his own adopted daughter's DNA to be merged with someone else's, and it was just surprising for him. It was a lot for him to understand and why it happened. But the overall thing was that he was happy that she was back, not only because he was glad to have his daughter back in his adopted daughter back and being back to life, and because he get to see her again, but also because he wants her to continue living. The thing is, they basically Stelche and Mysona Shay are basically 18 when they died, very at the cusp of adulthood, finally reaching to that milestone. So basically, and Leon is basically how I see him in this universe is 25. So once he sees her, and then brought her back to life, or he could be 26. Never mind. No, forget that. Anyways, basically, since he's like 25 when she died, he was 25 and she was 18 when she died. He knew very well that she died very young. She was still very young to die at that point, and for pretty much any parent's worst nightmare is basically watching their child die first. It is very unimaginable. If you ever watch media or have a child of your own, watching your child die first before you when you become of old age, it absolutely destroys you. It is an agonizing pain that you will feel. While I've never experienced losing a child, though I know it would absolutely kill me, like losing any person I love, it just is it is. Ooh, child death. Yep. Yep. So losing any child is like unimaginable. So you can imagine the grief that Liam will be put through, especially in holding this connection since she was about like 6 years old and up to her basically when she reaches to an adult. So it becomes visceral for him. But also happy that she gets to continue with her life. All he wanted was basically her to be safe and happy. So and that comes with her living her life all the way to the end. End. So with that in mind, it's and I'm like looking at my Discord and stuff. Sorry about that. So yeah, basically he just wants her to live her life and just live a happy life. Like it doesn't really matter to him if she ends up leaving the city that she grew up in or basically just stays there. He just wants her to live her life and just be happy. And he wants to be able to go out first before she does, because that's how things are set out to be and he wants her to continue. Basically, how I see Leon is someone who's an awkward but loving father who just wants the best for his own child, but also knows his own child and respects her decisions. Along with and also another thing about their dynamic is that he loves to tease her whenever it's just with his old jokes, which is very known by the fans of basically his corny cheesy one-liners. But he also teases her about like typical dad stuff, such as basically her crushing on a boy or crushing on a boy, which will be prevalent in the storyline, and or just basically teasing about anything that isn't him just messing with her in a very sweet sense. So overall, just very sweet. Sweet. Anyways, that relationship was complicated. This is possibly the most complicated the dynamics are gonna get. And they're like very, very rough. Like this one is possibly going to be the most complicated due to basically the amounts of history these two have and the complexities of their emotions and their emotions. Yeah, I can tell. I can tell. I can tell. You mentioned that we love complicated dynamics, and it seems like you love complicated dynamics. And Leon Kennedy S. Kennedy's and Shay and my son is Shay. Dynamic with complicated with awkward but sweet feelings of love and dedication to each other, of a platonic love of a father daughter dynamic is for you. And just so you know, basically that one shot episode I'm working on is going to be featuring that, and you'll get to seeing the emotions on display. So I hope you enjoy that when you get to seeing it. Actually, I might need to talk about that because I'm not sure if I talked about the plotline yet. I'm not going to spoil too repeating words. Yes, and yes, that happens to me a lot. A lot. It's possibly due to my autism, so possibly that's the reason. But Eroy, the I did it again. The words. So the one-shot episode is basically, I'm not going to spoil too much. In the one-shot episode, it's going to be focusing on. Why am I zoning out today? So basically, in the one-shot episode, it's going to be focusing on a more low-key thing. There will be a lot of crazy stuff going on, as it's going to be like the story that's pretty much well known with Honkai Star Rail. But but this is going to be a little more low-key event, and it's basically dealing with Stelche's conflict with herself. And I would assume this is after like she learned some sense of her own self, of her own self, basically of her, what made her to begin with. The other identity, which I would assume would be Stell, and Mysona's identity in her, making this, oh boy, complicated, very complicated. Very complicated for her. So with this knowledge in mind, she is fighting an internal battle about if she's in her own self, with these two identities emerging together, and basically of how this is impacting Leon and other characters as a result. Just so you know that basically with the identities mesh together, and basically Che's identity mesh into Stelche, her own feelings on the particular people and the feelings of her memories will not all clear to her yet, as she has amnesia, considering that was what Stell in the beginning, with her suffering from amnesia, only knowing her name. It's those feelings of those memories and people still remain, even though she doesn't fully remember them, making it very, very rough on her. And basically, her and Leon have a tender moment where basically she expresses how she's feeling, and he expresses how he's feeling about her identity as well. But overall, it's just going to be a low-key, sweet moment, just basically that is mostly going to be tender, and just going to be a low-key moment. But it's mostly going to be focusing on what is going to be one of the core conflicts, one of the core internal conflicts within Stelche's character, basically of knowing who she is in her own identity. Identity, along with basically just let's see. Along with basically reconnecting with those connections that she loved in the past, and just loving them, and just loving them like she did. She did, and she always will. Along with the world she's in, despite its messy feelings, its messy things in it, because Earth is messy here. Our world is messy here. So overall, that's the basic gist of it. Danhan and March 7th will be there too. So hopefully. So with that in mind, hopefully this, and basically it's going to be including people. Honkai Star Rail, Resident Evil 4, character specific, and Sonic. March 7th! Yes, she will be in there too. Mostly, they'll play more of a minor role in this particular episode, considering this is morely focusing on Stelche and her own dynamics. But there will be focus on them in the story once we get there. And of course, my writers will be teasing me about it. Like Anata went for the fucking ringer of basically just teasing me about me crushing over Danon and me liking Dragon Boys. Okay. Sorry, I'm taking a breath after, like, talking so much. Damn. There, I know what you were doing with that. I know what you're doing with that. Okay. Good lord. And let me see if I have water with me right now. Nope, I do not. I'm just gonna have to wait for a little bit. Anyways, that is basically the one-shot episode, and basically the few bits and beans, and basically with the project. I'm not gonna spoil too much. Basically, considering I still want certain things to be a surprise, but the things that are going to be pretty much clear from the get-go, such as Dulce's identity, her dynamics within both an Earth and the Astral Express, and not to mention. Trying to think. And not to mention the overall themes of love were basically not only for Dulce's love for the love in the world and wanting to protect it, but also the love and the people that had for her when trying to fight against a threat that was trying to attack her and her friends. Oof. I'm going to be looking for something from real quick because I just remembered something from. Nipping real quick. So, Pastel, how's your drawing going? I'm trying to find it. Ah, there it is. Alright. Basically, going insane. I keep getting distracted. Oh, yeah, it's because I'm being a bobblehead. What art specifically are you drawing, Pastel? I'm actually curious. For usually, when I hear like people draw, I'm basically when I'm like seeing like hearing people like they draw, I'm curious about what they draw because for how I draw, mainly because I draw usually basic things like characters standing or just like their expressions and stuff like that. So I just and also I just find their drawings. I just like learning about people's drawings and what they're going to be doing with it. Like, do you draw on paper or digital? That's understandable. Yeah. Alright. Once I was on a bowl. voice acting seems to be on next on the table. First, I need to let my voice relax after babbling on so much. Digital, I draw traditional paper when the electricity blacks out, I think. So what specifically are you drawing, though? Oof. Oh, goodness. I sneezed. Oof. I'm drawing something for an Art Club audition. It was supposed to be finished last week, but my program crashed and corrupted the file, so I have to do the drawing again. Also, bless you, sneeze. Thank you, thank you. That's actually really cool. That's really cool. I don't join clubs in school usually, mainly because I'm an awkward bitch, but also because I just like to prefer my own company. Which I've start like school in like pretty much in 2 weeks. So basically, I'm gonna be heading back in there at some point. Hopefully, it will help keep me company while as I wait for more Honkai Star Rail content. Bring me back, my boy! I want to see my boy again. Like seriously, I'm like in torture here. Like Hoyoverse likes to torture its fans apparently by basically not giving you some more Honkai Star Rail content. Like, could you like get us more like Don Hum, please? I would like it very much, please. I'm desperate. I know. That's why I'm making content for myself so I could survive. Though when I get to the voice actors part, whoever does like Don Han, I'm like, I'm gonna be trying not to squeal because I like, I would like, people could nail his voice. I'm gonna lose my mind. Honkai Star Rail content, yes, you understand, Pastel. I miss it. Honkai Star Rail, I love you. It's the reason why I started playing like ZZZ, a game that is made by Hoyoverse, and I just got it yesterday. I have it. Oh, I'll be a fucking blast with it. Oh my god, I made it to your live. I'm so happy. Oh, hi! You're the person that sent the comments into one of my stream on the comments of my streams. Hi, welcome to the stream. I'm glad you could make it. Hi. Honestly, I get a big smile on my face when people join my stream. You know. Yeah. I'm so happy now. Well, I'm usually always happy, and like when people come to my streams, it puts a big smile on my face. It just makes my day, especially hearing my innate ramblings. Oh, oh no! Oh, that baby smile! Oh my gosh! Ah, thank you so much. Why am I blushing now? No, stop, because you're actually so sweet. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you like that about me. I like being nice. I like being kind to others. I have to urge to draw KP on my audition, but I need to restrain myself. Oh, God. Oh. Oh gosh. This reminds me a lot of the fan art I see of Renhan. By the way, I ship Donhan and Blade together in most cases. No, it does not. And on. I'm gonna get started on voice acting like. No, okay, I'm getting into the next thing on my poll since I've like finished like talking about my project and stuff, at least for the tidbits that I think will be good enough to bring up in project. Good. So I'm gonna get to voice acting characters from Honkai Star Rail. Alright. Alright, I'm going to like start on like the characters that I like specifically, and hopefully I can nail their voice. Alright, got that done. So may I ask what type of content you'll be posting? Oh, I mostly just do like stuff that is related to art, writing, and voice acting. Like basically, if you saw like in my videos, I do like Honkai Star Rail content a lot of the time. And I'm actually working on a big project that is involving Honkai Star Rail and other two fandoms. I'm doing on basically for I got my writers down, but also I'm moving on to basically my the artists. And it's so basically you'll see stuff like that. It's getting there, but also I will just be basically possibly doing occasional speed paints, speed paints. I stream a lot sometimes, and I'm gonna be streaming regularly when I'm like when I'm gonna be like when I get back into school. Oh my gosh! I wish you the best luck. Oh, thank you. Oh. It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy to hear that. And so far, my YouTube stuff has been going pretty well. I've been uploading regularly whenever I can, and seeing a lot of people just enjoying what I do and just liking me as a person just makes me smile. It just really makes me smile, and it makes me really happy. Now I'm moving on to basically voice acting characters. Mostly Honkai Star Rail. Hope you guys can hear the voice lines soon so you know what I'm voicing. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna start with March, mostly in her like in her oh no way! I didn't realize this! I just found something out in my game that I didn't realize from the get-go, and that explains why I couldn't find March here. Boy. Gonna voice her lines in her like.
Let me see.
No, her voice lines are gonna be like. I'm just gonna pick a voice line that is basically for me easy to memorize without me losing my mind. Alright, March. I'm gonna be starting with March. I keep repeating myself because I'm nervous and I'm just trying to do. Alright. I'm gonna start with both the Dan Han lines because of course I would. I'm gonna let her say them so I can remember them.
Dan Han got on the train before me. He never mentioned his past. If you get the chance, why don't you ask him about it?
Alright, let's hope I can do this. No, don't be. You're gonna do a great job. Oh, you can do it. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. Okay, let me try one more time.
Dan Han got on the train before me. He never mentioned his past. If you get the chance, why don't you ask him about it?
Alright, here we go. Dan Han got on the train before me. He never mentioned his past. If you get the chance, why don't you ask him about it? I love voicing March. Her voice is very easy for me, but also very fun. Actually, when I first voice acted her, my friends were like, "Are you like the official voice actor for March 7th?" Because my voice is so in tune with hers that the performance I give is very convincing, and it made me laugh. It made me laugh, and honestly, if I was like a voice actor on there, I would like be losing my mind over it. It's just like, oh, you first approached me like, we want you to be a voice actor, and I would like pass out. Nice, that was great. Ooh, nice, that was so great, girl. I could never. Oh no, don't say that. I think you can do stuff like that, and if you try and practice, like voice acting is, it's a new hobby of mine, so I'm still learning stuff. So I'm basically just trying my best at it. I mean, basically, aside from my own projects, I like to join on official projects with other YouTubers if I can. So I'm with the work. It just takes time. It's still learning. Basically, you just gotta if you're like doing impressions, you gotta see of how you can match that voice, like in terms both in energy and in tone. At least for me, mostly I'm more worried about the energy of that I get off with how I can match it within my voice. Like me and March have like similar energies, so I think I can match that in regards. It's just I'm a bit more quiet. Alright, gonna do another one.
Even after we found out about his mysterious past, he's still the same Dan Han we've always known. Even after we found out about his mysterious past, he's still the same Dan Han we've always known.
Alright. Even after we found out about his mysterious past, he's still the same Dan Han we always known. Nice. Moving on to Serval.
Hi, the name's Serval Landau. I'm a Belobog mechanic.
Yeah, on.
Signing off now.
That one was even better. Oh, thank you.
If we Landaus have one thing in common, it's that we're all stubborn in our own way. If we Landaus have one thing in common, it's that we're all stubborn in our own way.
Yeah, that was thank you so much. All right, I'm doing a little bit deeper voice this one, so we're gonna hear it one more time.
If we Landaus have one thing in common, it's that we're all stubborn in our own way.
If we Landaus have one thing in common, it's that we're all stubborn in our own way. I usually like doing like deeper voice characters since they're a lot more fun for me to do, but I also like doing the high pitch ones since they're fun to do as well. I feel like those are the ones I can match up in energy and mood. Okay, I'm doing Clara next, and her voice is very cute. We can do it.
Hello, I'm Clara. Wanna be in my family? Like Mr. Svarog?
As long as I'm here, she is your family.
Let's keep up the good work today. Hello, I'm Clara. Wanna be in my family? Like Mr. Svarog?
As long as I'm here, she is your family.
Hello, I'm Clara. Wanna be in my family? Like Mr. Sparrow? I'm not as good as that as like my friend Nemi is, but I hopefully did okay with that. The voice line is so sweet. Yeah, yeah. Clara's she's a very sweet character. She has a lot of values on family and caring about others, and is very sweet. Like she's adorable. And also, Mr. Spark is her dad, and they're cute. They're very cute. It's one of the things I love about her. I love her voice line. Now we're moving on to the protagonist, the best girl. Well, in my opinion. Okay, bro, come on. What do you mean? That was so accurate. Well, yeah, but I think Nemi does a little bit of better job, but I think I did okay. But thank you so much. It's just I feel like I don't have like the voice like Emily has and as for her voice acting, it's just not there yet. Anyways, moving on to Still. If you watch my video, you'll know that I gave like Stell like a softer voice, mainly just to match up with my Sona. But this time I'll be solely doing accurate on her voice, since this is not fan fiction. Anyways, let's see which one is the voice easier for me.
When there is the chance to make a choice, make one that you know you won't regret. When there is the chance to make a choice, make one that you know you won't regret.
When there is a chance to make a choice, make one that you know you won't regret. I love Stell.
Danhong, let's make this quick.
Danhan, let's make this quick.
Like always, Danhong, let's make this quick.
Like always, Danhan, let's make this quick. I love Stell. I'm actually gonna do like battle quotes if I can. Oh, Jade's next. I'm sorry, but I gotta go. I'll see you when I come back. Bye, Kenji. Have a good day. I'm glad you came here. Bye. Oh, thank you. When people say they love me, I get all the fuzzy feelings. I'm smiling so much. Alright. Moving on to Jade now.
Hello, my name is Jade. I'm here at your request. If you'd like to take out a loan, you must put something of equal value up as collateral. Your dignity, your feelings, or even your life. What are you willing to exchange?
Stop, that was so cute. Oh, thank you. My heart. When people come. I don't use. Okay.
Are you feeling lost? Don't worry. We can chat about whatever you want.
I'm gonna have to pull like the seductive voice, and I'm nervous about that.
Are you feeling lost? Don't worry. We can chat about whatever you want.
Are you feeling lost? Don't worry. We can chat about whatever you want. Hope I did that okay. Natasha, you're up! I'm basically gonna do most of the female voices of that I feel like I can do, and that I have in my roster of characters that I pulled from Honkai Star Rail.
Nice to meet you. I'm Natasha, an underworld doctor. Feeling sick? Take a seat. Let me take a look. I'm in today, but that is not an excuse for misbehavior. Nice to meet you. I'm Natasha, an underworld doctor. Feeling sick? Take a seat. Let me take a look.
Nice to meet you. I'm Natasha, an underworld doctor. Feeling sick? Take a seat. Let me take a look. Enjoying the newest character I voiced. She's so cute.
I'm Sushang, and I recently joined the Cloud Knights. Talk to me if you have any issues. But I don't know the Lafu very well either.
No, it's late at night. I would have rested at 1 a.m. today, but I'm currently sleepy. Aww. If you're sleepy, you should get some sleep. I don't want you to, like, miss a good night rest because it's late. Want you to get a good night's sleep.
No need to be polite. I can help any. Huh? You're just here to say hello. You don't need my help? Today was another day of being eager to help. I am very happy with myself. Time to rest. Be eager to help those. Today was another day of being eager to help. I am very happy with myself. Time to rest.
Today was another day of being eager to help. I am very happy with myself. Time to rest. Hope I did that okay. It's just sounds voice was a little tricky. Asta, you're next.
Hi, the name's
Even if I never kept in touch with any of my relatives, they would find their way over here.
Hi, the name's
Let's
Asta.
see.
If only Madame Herta could pay a visit to the space station more often. The researchers are clearly her followers. If only Madame Herta could pay a visit to the space station more often. The researchers are clearly her followers.
Alright, see you next stream and the artist and that artist thing. I'll be there jump scaring you next stream. Stay safe, everyone. I drink, eat, and eat. Good night, everyone. Good night, Pastel. See you next time. Alright. Alright.
If only Madame Herta could pay a visit to the space station more often. The researchers are clearly her followers.
If only Madame Herta could pay a visit to the space station more often. The researchers are clearly her followers. Himiko?
Welcome aboard. I'm Himiko, navigator of the Astral Express. I'm sure we're about to embark on a fascinating journey together. Hey there. Tired? How about a coffee? The Express and I are like old friends. We've helped each other a lot. I have a knack for blending different coffee beans. Can I make you a cup? I recommend not adding milk. Black coffee is proper coffee. Seems like only Don Hung has a kind word for my coffee. What do you think? Well, I've always thought that bitter is better. Don Hung is the cautious type. I think he's gotten used to doing things by himself. He doesn't like to bother or inconvenience others. That's why I asked him to be the train's guard and maintain the databank. I don't think he'd have joined us if there wasn't anything for him to do. He's not so uptight nowadays. I think you and March helped him understand that relying on others sometimes really isn't a big deal. He's not so uptight nowadays. I think you and March helped him understand that relying on others sometimes really isn't a big deal.
He's not so uptight nowadays. I think you and March helped him understand relying on others sometimes really isn't a big deal. I'm sure I flipped that a little bit, but I hope I got that right.
I am Hanya. It's been a while. How have you been? I can't say I've been doing well lately myself, but that's normal for me. It's been a while. How have you been? I can't say I've been doing well lately myself, but that's normal for me.
It's been a while. How have you been? I can't say I've been doing well lately myself, but that's normal for me.
My name is Green Eye Fen. Green means wood, Nai means to exist, and Fen means fragrant. Rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? Jeez, why do I feel like I haven't seen you in a long time? What? You saw me yesterday? A day without seeing you feels like 3 years. See you next time. I'll save you a front row seat. Oh, it's a makeshift outdoor stand. Front row sounds a little fancy. My real name is Guinevere. Guinevere is the Xianzhou name Shangshang gave me. Who is Shangshang, you ask? She's my best friend. Sushang, the Cloud Knight. Have you met her? I've got more than a dozen siblings. One of them is, don't you think the poetry? There's so much good food on the Law Fu. Sushang has been calling me, there's a, on this Xianzhou. Jeez, why do I feel like I haven't seen you in a long time? What? You saw me yesterday? A day without seeing you feels like 3 years.
Geez, why do I feel like I haven't seen you in a long time? What? You saw me yesterday? A day without seeing you feels like 3 years.
This is Herda. I'm busy right now. This is my ranged puppet's automated response mode. Hello, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
This is Herta. I'm busy right now. This is my range puppet's automated responsible mode. Hello, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye. I'm sure I speak that.
My name is Ting Yoon, the ambassador for the Law Fu Skyfaring Commission Merchant Guild. Please look after me from now on, benefactor.
My name is Ten Yoon, the ambassador of the Lofu Skyfaring Commission Merchant Guild. Please look after me from now on, benefactor.
I am She Yi, a judge of the Ten Lords Commission. By decree of the Commission, I come to the world of the living to enforce its will. Tell me what you want. I haven't got much time. It's good we could be acquainted. I rarely have the chance to come to your side of the world.
It's good we could be acquainted. I rarely have the chance to come to your side of the world. And 2 more to go, and then I'll stop there and think I'll end stream for the time being.
I'm Chinchu, a diviner from the Divination Commission. You want to play Celestial Jade? Okay, come back during my work hours.
I'm Chei, a diviner. Sorry, I had to mute because my mom came in.
I'm Chinchu, a diviner from the Divination Commission. You want to play Celestial Jade? Okay, come back during my work hours.
I'm Chinjay, a diviner from the Divination Commission. You want to play Celestial Jade? Okay, come back during my work hours. I think I know that pretty good.
Hello, guest from the Astral Express. I am Yukong from the Lawfu Skyfaring Commission. Welcome to the Xianzhou.
Hello, guest from the Astral Express. I am Yukon from the Lofu Skyfaring Commission. Welcome to the Xinjiao. Alright, that's basically the characters I'm going to voice right now, and hopefully I hope that's basically all I got for the stream. Hopefully, I hope you guys had a fun time and enjoyed watching me talk about my project and voice that and just goof off in general. And I hope to see you guys again next stream. Bye bye!